This is Dave the Sign Guy. I thought I'd do a quick video on my primary working table that I use to make signs. This is a table where I peel, mask, and lay probably 90% of the signs I create in this shop. It is a 4x8 table made from 3/8 plywood. I can't say I'm the inventor of the style table. A gentleman named Polk, I believe, and he's on YouTube, designed this table for construction actually as a two-piece, 2x8 tables that can be put together as a 4x8 or 2x16. I just modified it for my use here in my shop. Now, for fun, it's actually sitting on a bar-sized pool table, and on my ceiling I have hooks that come down and hook into the table and lift it up out of the way, so when not much is going on, I can shoot pool. But that is not what we're here to discuss. We're here to discuss the table itself. Now, if you're in the sign business, you are familiar with tables because you have to work on them a lot to peel and mask vinyl, and a lot of times to apply that vinyl to signage. What I decided to do that's a little different on my table, and I'm sure there's somebody else out there has probably figured this out by now, is under this very thin sheet of Lexan, I believe is an 1/8 inch or 3/16 inch Lexan, which I use as my cutting surface, I actually have a very thin sheet of steel that I then covered in vinyl, 4x8 sheet of vinyl, to give it the grid system. But the reason why I did that is so that magnets will stick to it. So, really nice way, even magnets on my tape measures for when we're doing vehicles. But it's nice because what the magnets do is they act as another set of hands for you while you're peeling vinyl. And I'll do a demonstration of that in another video. However, I just really wanted to quickly go over with you, the table itself and why I went this route. And mostly it is, again, because of the ability to hold things in place without having to constantly use tape, for example. It also makes weeding so much easier. If you're familiar with the weeding process of vinyl, one of the hardest things about weeding vinyl is if you don't have it taped down, is having it sit still so that you can weed. A lot of times I'll watch videos of other sign makers and they're just struggling because they either are trying to weed so fast and don't bother to tape it down, or they tape it down but it moves, or it's just a struggle. And I found this to make it far, far easier. So with several of these heavy duty magnets especially, which are primarily used in wraps, to do wraps on vehicles, it just makes weeding so much easier. Got a straight line on the table here. This just is where I usually put my vinyls to. I primarily cut 30-inch vinyls. 90% of what I do is in the 30-inch range or below as far as cut vinyl. And that vinyl lines right up to my arms that hold my masking for masking my vinyls. And these are actually, believe it or not, are sign holders that I modified to hold my masking or my pre-mask. So that's my table, real simple. Like I said, short video. If you have any questions about it, feel free to ask, and I will try to answer. Oh, by the way, one of the reasons why I went with this style table with the storage below is just for that reason. I can store everything I need to quick reach right there. Tape, templates, etc. So it makes it very handy for when you're working on projects. But that's the end of this video. I'm Dave the Sign Guy. Stay tuned for more short videos on the tools that I use to make signs and other things. Thanks.